Welcome back to Family Matters. Some of my favorite memories, some of the things that helped to shape who I am today. And I hope that in our Family Matters section that you have an opportunity to borrow some of the joy. You know, one of the things I realize is that my family I'm here with my dad, and my family years ago realized that they didn't belong just to me. That my dad, from when I was in middle school, my friends who didn't have a father around would borrow my dad, call my dad dad. On up to high school, college, today. And I have been blessed to have a phenomenal, not perfect, but phenomenal father for me. And a great mom, phenomenal mom, super brother, and an amazing grandmother, too. My dad's mom, who shaped a lot of my character, and my mother's mother, who I spent a lot of my adult years with. And I'm very clear that my family, as well as my life, we belong to humanity to help people learn how to love, forgive, support, embrace, encourage, and soar. So I'm excited to be with the most special man on the planet to me. My first love. From very early on, I was yours.
You were mine from day one.
And you taught me limitless. You taught me the concept of, if you want it, baby girl. That's what he calls me, baby girl. You want a baby girl? Go get it. It's what made me believe that I can run track, do synchronized swimming, be a quarterback, cheerlead, be the captain of the track team. It's what made me believe I could do all of those things. You would always say, you want it, baby girl? Go do it. There's a requirement. And you just gave me wings. And you didn't always have those wings.
No. I can't remember wings at all. But it was just, I don't know, it was something that was instilled in me from the beginning.
How could you give me something that you feel like you didn't have?
Because that's what I wanted. And I wanted you to have it. I didn't want you to want for too much. And I didn't want you to go astray, having to look for it. That's why I was always willing to be there, sacrifice my time. And much as I like to get out and run, I knew I had responsibilities.
He's speaking to the fact that my daddy, based on the guys I went to high school, my daddy was the old school player from the Himalayas. He's Mr. OG, still called.
He'd still call me that.
What do they call you?
Mr. OG.
My daddy, Mr. OG. Like you would drive to the school and he had his convertible sports car, and but even in that time, you were single, you were amazing, you were handsome, you were upwardly mobile, you had your sports car. But what most people don't know is that you were also the president of the PTA.
You have to tell everybody that.
Yes, I'm going to tell everybody because I wanted you to be in the PTA.
Yeah.
And I was like, Daddy, please be in the PTA. And you were like, PTA?
I don't know how I let you talk me into half of that stuff.
Because
I knowing I didn't want to be up at the school. It was bad enough I had to go be there because you were there. But then you set me up to be the president of the student.
PTA. It was called the Super Parents Club.
Super Parents Club. Yeah, that was
And,
it.
and can you imagine, like my daddy was in the prime. He was in his mid-30s. I never forget. And he was just Mr. Man. I was like, Daddy, I need you to be in the PTA. And of course, leadership runs in our family. And he went in and rose straight to the top, and he ended up being the president. And so all the pancake breakfast.
You rose me up to the top.
Well, you know what? You would always tell me, baby, use your powers for good.
Mm-hmm.
You would always tell me that. And I didn't know I was a leader. At a young age, I was a leader. I would get all my cousins in trouble because I had the idea, but I was the baby.
But you were always the captain or the leader of whatever, the drill team, the track team. You somehow work your way up into
I
that
didn't even
part.
try.
And then you'd always come to me and then I had to back you up and all of this stuff.
Uh-oh. Daddy, I got us into something.
Yeah.
What I signed us up for was the pancake breakfast. What I signed us up for was the barbecue sale. What? Remember the barbecue sale? I did decide I was going to do a barbecue sale, and my problem has always been my opportunity, my mouth. And I don't know if you remember this, but we did a barbecue sale that you was going to make the barbecue
Right.
for. And I went out and sold tickets for barbecue dinners.
Barbecue.
But I didn't realize there was a maximum number of tickets I should sell. So I'm selling everybody. Don't just buy a barbecue dinner for you. Buy one for your whole family. Don't just buy one for yourself. Buy one for your coworkers. Like you've always told me, baby, use your powers for good. I accidentally sold 1,500. People were buying 10 at a time, 20 at a time. Offices were buying. And we counted, and we were like, oh my God. We were delivering, I don't know if you remember, Daddy, we were delivering people their barbecue lunch at 8 at night because we couldn't keep
all day into the night.
All night long.
Man,
it was the
back
most.
of my car was just filled with dinners. My thing is I'm the one having to cook all of this. I'm on the barbecue pit the entire day.
I'm just bragging about my dad. My daddy's gonna make the best barbecue ever. I so oversold. Oversold.
It's understated. I mean, I swore I told you, did you ever?
You have done that many a times. Do that again. Don't you?
Don't you ever use my name? Don't you tell nobody I'm gonna do nothing.
Ruh-roh. I did that all the time.
Yeah, she did. It didn't matter because she'd go right back and do it again.
I didn't do that thing anymore. I did something else.
Selling cookies and making, oh man, for that breakfast at the high school. It's bad enough having to go up to the high school and be involved. But she's like, my dad can do it. Let them do it.
My daddy can make pancakes. My daddy can make like 7, 8, 9 pancakes at a time.
Man, I had pancakes. We had this
300 pancakes.
We had this thing. I had pancakes everywhere. We had them stacked up. I was like, I'm trying to keep up to keep her from being,
Go ahead.
embarrassed, so to speak.
And you wanted to keep your eye on the boys at the school, so you stayed present at the school.
Well, yeah, I had to keep an eye on that. At that age, the little boys was getting, you know how little boys are. At that age, little hormones started jumping.
I ran track, and I had a track girl's body, and before then I had swim competition, so she
was built. I mean, she was really built. She was slim, short,
and I was innocent. I wasn't there.
She wasn't into the boys, but
I wasn't.
She didn't look at them, but I saw them.
Look at me.
I saw them.
And he just was like, my daddy would do this thing, and now I get it. And he would do this thing like, what's up? I'm watching you, watch her. What's up? I got my eye on you while you got your eye on her. And I didn't realize at the time what he was doing, but now that I'm older and when I got out of school, all the guys would tell me, your daddy gave us that OG look like you want to step to my daughter look. And so they said, the guys at my high school at my reunion, they said, listen, your daddy was on campus all the time. That puts you officially off limits. I was like, oh, okay, it was good. So I want to say this.
They knew me better than I did. They'd see me coming. Hey, Mr. Nichols, how you doing? It's like, who is that? I couldn't remember all of them's name, but
that's all right. They remember your name. That's all that matters.
We got through it.
That's all that matters. So I talked about on another video that went viral. You don't know nothing about that because you don't be out there.
What
but
viral?
It's not a virus.
Yeah,
viral
I know
means
what
a
you're
lot
saying.
of people watched it.
I know what you're saying.
So I talked about on this video about you taking me on my first date and how you took me to the Marina Del Rey and how you bought me my first drink, the Shirley Temple drink.
Well, yeah.
And how you ordered my meal for me. I never forget, you ordered halibut. And I ate halibut, just so you know. I ate halibut on every date for the next 5 years until I realized, Daddy, I don't really like halibut.
Halibut.
It was just my first date with you. And so I thought,
Yeah.
okay, I should have halibut. But then at the end of the date, you did something. And on this particular video I share, at the end of the date, as we're walking in the house, remember we lived in that house on 109th?
Yes.
The back house.
Little one bedroom.
The
place.
one bedroom house. We're walking in the
You
house.
had the only bedroom. We had to sleep on the sofa in the living room, me and my son.
So,
Yes, I
so,
remember that house.
so what happened
You
was,
invaded our privacy.
what happened was I came to stay with you in the summer for summer break. I was 15.
Yes.
And at the end of the break, I asked you, can I stay another week? And you said, sure, baby. At the end of another week, I asked you, can I stay another week? You said, sure, baby. At the end of another week, I said, Daddy, can I stay one more week?
And you gotta go home. All your clothes are at home. You gotta go home.
And I said,
No, they're not. So what do you mean? No, they're not. You gotta go home. You got all your school clothes over there. And she says,
no, they're not.
Well, lo and behold, what I didn't know was her and her brother had been going to the house periodically, getting her clothes, and they were pushing me. I kept wondering.
Talk to the camera.
I kept wondering, why are my clothes getting so close together? And then wrinkle my suits. You know, you don't want to wear a wrinkled suit to work, and I had to wear a suit to work, and I kept wondering why. And she says, I said, well, what are you gonna wear to school? She says, my clothes are here. What do you mean your clothes are here? So she showed.
He's so used to talking to John.
She shows me in my closet. They had moved all of her clothes to the back of the closet, pushed my clothes over so we couldn't see them. But she had went home and brought all of her clothes to my house.
I was ready to stay with my dad.
She was ready to stay with me, and I told her, but your mother's not going to allow this.
I'd already figured that one out. I'd already talked to Mom, and Mom was like, if you want to be with Dad, then
you're gonna be there anyway, because but she came to stay with us, and
my daddy, being the gentleman that he is, it was a 1-bedroom house.
It was a little basketball.
A 1-bedroom house. He started by himself. When he and my mom got a divorce, he started and he stayed by himself. Then my brother went with him because my brother was of age and needed to have a man in his life. And then I came. And because I was the only girl, he insisted that my brother give me the only room. My brother was not happy about giving me that room.
No, he was not happy.
And
but she was a lady. She had to have that room.
And you did something, Daddy. So I just got to tell you that you really gave me a foundation of a man in my presence, a man's man, because you not only took me on that date, and when we got to the front door at the end of that date, you opened the door for me, and when I shared this on the video, and I went to go in the door, you closed it again to get my attention. I looked at you, I said, what's wrong, Daddy? You said, I took you on your first date so you get to see
how a man's supposed to treat you.
And then you said, how you allow them to treat you is on you.
It's on you. Well, I ordered your food for you to read the menu, to show you how to read menus and stuff, and how to deal with when you get out there with somebody else. And I moved your chair out to set you down. I even handed you your napkin that night. I ordered your drink for you. I just wanted you to know, men are supposed to treat you like a lady. They don't want to treat you like a lady, you don't need to be with them. Because if they disrespect you in the beginning, they're going to disrespect you all your life. So I didn't want you to have that. I want you first to know what it's like to be treated like a woman. And that was my job. I'm your daddy. I'm supposed to do that. And that's what I did.
So I have to tell you, Daddy, what you don't know is 8 years later, I was invited out on a date. And I got to tell you, I'm be honest, I took the date because his car was amazing. That was back in the day. And he took me out to Marina Del Rey, the same area that we went out to dinner. And that was the day when pagers were out. And his pager kept going off, and he kept getting up from the table. And he didn't pull the seat out for me. And he didn't ask me what I wanted, and he didn't see how I was doing. He just kept getting up from the table when his pager went off. He felt a bit dismissive to me. And the only reference point I had on how I should be treated was the date you took me on when I was 12. And it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel acknowledging. And so on one of his moments when he stepped out to go answer another page, I took the liberty to call a cab. And I got in the cab and I got myself back. And by the time, he had a Corvette. And by the time my cab was coming around the corner on 109th and Crenshaw, which is where we live, his car was flying around that corner. And he caught me as I was going into the house. And he said, "Why would you leave?" I said, "Because my father took me on a date years ago. And my father told me how I get to be treated. And this wasn't it." That was the last time I saw him. So thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love you.
I love you too. I still love you.
You still love me?
I still love you. You're still my favorite girl.
Thank you, Daddy.
I don't know how your little sister gonna tell you.
My little sister knows she's the favorite of all of us. So, more memories, more family matters. You know, our family is far, far, far from perfect. But what we've learned how to do is beautifully manage our imperfections together. So more when we come back.